The exploration ship came down hard on the planet. Captain gripped the armrest of his command chair as the vessel shook and twisted through the thick atmosphere. Red warning lights flashed across every screen. Alarms screamed in the darkness of the bridge. The planet was not on their route. A solar storm had knocked out their navigation systems, pushed them off course. Now they were falling toward a world that no human had been authorized to visit. The Galactic Council had forbidden approach to. Something about the planet being inhabited by dangerous creatures. Something about old warnings. Did not have time to think about old warnings. The ship hit hard, the impact threw from his seat. He crashed against the console, pain shooting through his ribs. The lights went dark. For a moment there was only the sound of the ship tearing apart around them. Then silence. Pulled himself up, coughing. He could taste blood in his mouth. His left arm felt wrong, but he could still move it. He had survived worse in his military days. The bridge was a mess of broken screens and sparking wires. "Status report," called out. Ensign Lisa appeared through the smoke, holding her side. Blood dripped from a cut on her forehead. "Main systems are down, sir. We hit hard. The landing struts collapsed on impact." Dr. Aaron Cole rushed in from the medical station, medical kit already in hand. "We have injuries, 3 dead in the lower decks, many wounded. We need to assess the ship's structural integrity before we decide next steps." Nodded, his crew looked to him for answers. That was what a captain did. He made decisions when everything fell apart. "Get medical teams into the corridors. Do what you can for the injured. Then we salvage what we can from the ship. We do not know how long we have on this planet before someone finds us," said. He did not add the second thought in his mind. We do not know what else is on this planet. The crew worked for hours. They pulled supplies from the storage lockers. They set up a camp near the ship, using whatever materials they could find. The planet's air was breathable, though it tasted strange and metallic. The ground was dark rock and volcanic ash. Around them, tall rock formations rose like jagged teeth. Stood looking at the landscape and felt something crawl up his spine. This world was alive. He could feel it somehow. Not alive like a garden was alive, but awake, watching. "Captain," Lisa said, approaching him. "We found something about a kilometer from here, in the canyon." "What kind of something?" asked. "We do not know, but it is making noise. Come on." They gathered 3 crew members and started hiking into the canyon. The rocks were sharp and jagged. The air grew hotter as they descended. Steam rose from cracks in the ground. The planet was volcanic, active. They had to be careful. The noise grew louder as they approached. It was a sound like nothing had heard before. High-pitched, panicked. It was the sound of something in pain. They found it wedged beneath a massive slab of rock that had fallen from the cliff above. The creature was young, maybe 2 meters long from nose to tail. It had scales that shimmered gold and red in the harsh sunlight. Its wings were crumpled against its body. Its eyes were large and round and very much alive with fear. It was a dragon. Had read the descriptions in the galactic databases. Was home to an ancient species of flying reptiles. Intelligent creatures, dangerous creatures. No human was supposed to see one. No human was supposed to come here. The dragon hatchling screamed when it saw them. "Stay back," Dr. Cole said. "We do not know what its mother might do." But was already moving forward. He could see the hatchling was trapped. One of its wings was bent at an unnatural angle. There was blood on the rocks around it. The creature was dying slowly under the weight of the stone. "We need to lift this rock," said. "Captain, that is not a good idea," Lisa said. "Its mother could be nearby." "Then we need to work fast," replied. They got on either side of the rock slab, counted to 3. They pushed with all their strength. The rock shifted, just a little at first, then more. The dragon hatchling screamed again, a sound of pain and relief mixed together. One more push, the rock rolled away. The hatchling scrambled free, dragging itself away from the humans. It tried to fly, but its broken wing would not work. It stumbled into the rocks, panicking. That was when the shadow passed over them. Looked up and his heart stopped. The mother dragon came through the mist like a ship passing through clouds. She was massive, easily 20 meters from nose to tail. Her scales were the color of deep emerald and gold, the same colors had seen in the hatchling. Her wings stretched across the sky like sails. Her eyes were older than time. She landed between the humans and the hatchling. The crew froze. This was the moment where they would die. The mother dragon did not roar. She did not attack. She simply stood there, her massive head turned to look at the humans. Her eyes moved from Lisa to Cole to each crew member. Then they stopped on. He felt that gaze like a physical weight. This creature was ancient. This creature was powerful. This creature could burn them to ash with a single breath. Made his choice, he stepped forward. He walked toward the dragon hatchling, toward the mother dragon, toward what might be his death. "It is okay," said, keeping his voice calm and low. "We are not going to hurt your baby. We were helping. We found her under the rock and we lifted it away. She is safe now." The mother dragon tilted her head. It was a gesture almost like curiosity. Kept walking, one step at a time. The mother dragon could have struck him down. She could have burned him where he stood. Instead, she watched. And as reached the hatchling and knelt beside it, his hand on its small head, he felt the weight of the mother dragon's attention like a physical thing. The hatchling leaned into his touch, and the mother dragon did not move. Realized in that moment that he had made a choice that would echo through the rest of his life. He did not know it yet. He could not see the future spreading out before him, but something had shifted. Something had changed. He had shown the dragons something they did not expect to find in a human being. He had shown them kindness. Night came fast on. The sun dropped below the volcanic mountains like a stone into water. The temperature fell so quickly that could see his breath within minutes. The crew huddled near a fire made from dry materials they had salvaged from the canyon. Dr. Cole worked on the hatchling's injured wing, carefully cleaning the wound and wrapping it with cloth from the medical kit. The mother dragon remained nearby. She had not left. She had not attacked. She had simply settled on the dark rocks above them, her massive body blocking the cold wind that swept down from the mountains. Sat near the fire, his ribs aching where he had hit the console. His left arm throbbed. Dr. Cole had wrapped it and given him pain medication, but sleep would not come. He could not stop thinking about what they had done. They had helped the hatchling. They had shown kindness to a creature that could have killed them all. And the mother dragon had not stopped them. Lisa sat beside him, watching the dragon. "Do you think she will stay?" Lisa asked. "I do not know," said. "I do not know anything about these creatures. We were not supposed to come here. We were not supposed to learn any of this." "Are you sorry," Lisa asked, "that we helped the hatchling?" Was quiet for a moment. The wind howled around them, carrying the taste of sulfur and volcanic ash. The hatchling made small sounds as Dr. Cole worked on its wing, sounds of pain and acceptance mixed together. "No," said finally. "I am not sorry. That baby would have died alone under that rock. The right thing was the only thing to do." As the night deepened, the cold became dangerous. The crew members huddled closer to the fire, but it was not enough. The planet's thin atmosphere did not hold heat well, could see his crew shaking. He could see their teeth chattering. Young Ensign Danny Foster was turning pale. At this rate, they would lose people to the cold before morning came. Then the mother dragon moved. She came down from the rocks with slow, careful steps. The crew tensed. They thought this was the moment the dragon would attack. But instead, she settled beside the camp, her massive body creating a barrier against the wind. Her scales still held the warmth from the planet's interior. The heat radiating from her body was immediate and fierce. The crew members nearest to the dragon felt the warmth first. They looked at each other in confusion and wonder. The mother dragon was protecting them. She was using her own body to keep them alive through the night. Moved closer to the hatchling, which Dr. Cole had finally finished treating. The young creature was sleeping, exhausted from pain and fear. Lay down beside it, his back against the hatchling's warm scales. The mother dragon's heat reached him even from across the small camp. Hours passed. The night was long and dark, drifted in and out of sleep. He had been wounded during his time in the military. He had been cold before, but something about this night was different. Every time he woke, he saw the mother dragon watching him, not with hunger, not with anger, but with something that looked almost like understanding. At one point, fever came too. The wound on his arm had become infected. He could feel the heat inside his body fighting the cold outside. His skin burned while his teeth chattered. He lay there, confused and weak, and the mother dragon shifted closer. She moved one massive wing over like a blanket. Her scales were hot. Her breath was warm, felt her attention on him like a physical thing. She knew he was sick, she knew he was suffering, and she chose to help him anyway. Woke as the sky began to lighten. False dawn, but still light enough to see. His fever had broken. The warmth from the mother dragon had helped more than the medication had. His arm still hurt, but the heat of infection seemed less intense. Dr. Cole was already awake, looking at with concern. "Your fever spiked last night," the doctor said. "I thought we might lose you, but then the dragon moved to be closer to you. The warmth seemed to help." She knew, said, it was not a question. "Yes," Dr. Cole said. "Somehow, she knew you were sick and she helped. That is not the behavior of a wild animal, Captain. That is the behavior of an intelligent being capable of empathy." The hatchling woke as the sun touched the canyon walls. It looked at and made a soft sound, not the panicked scream from yesterday. This was different. This was something like contentment. The young dragon walked to and leaned against his leg, put his hand on the creature's head. "We should go back to the ship," Lisa said. "We need to report what happened. We need to contact the Galactic Council." But did not move. He looked at the mother dragon. She was watching him again, her ancient eyes steady and patient, and knew with complete certainty that he could not betray her. He could not let the crew report this. He could not let the Galactic Council know about the dragons. "No," said, "we tell no one. As far as anyone knows, there is nothing on this planet but rock and volcanic activity. No life, nothing worth studying, nothing worth coming back for." "Captain," Lisa started. "That is an order," said. His voice was firm and final. "We protect them. We do not know how the Council would respond if they found out there was intelligent life here. We do not know what they would do to these creatures or to each other. We protect them." Dr. Cole nodded slowly. "The hatchling's wing will heal," he said. "In a few weeks, maybe a month, it will be able to fly again, and the mother will take it away from here, back to wherever the rest of their kind lives." "Then we have a month," said, looking at the mother dragon. "A month to show these creatures that not all humans are a threat. A month to prove that there is more to my species than the Council knows." The mother dragon made a low sound, almost like agreement. The hatchling nuzzled against side, and understood that something profound had begun. A connection between two species, a friendship born from kindness in the darkness. The day was coming, the real test was still ahead, but for now they had survived the night, and that was enough. The rescue ship came down on the third day, heard the engines first, that familiar sound of human technology cutting through the alien sky. His stomach tightened. He had known they would come. Rescue ships always came. The Galactic Council would have registered the crash within hours. They would have sent someone. But he had hoped for more time. The landing site was 2 kilometers away on the flat plains to the east. Captain Torres emerged first, her military bearing evident in every step. She was tall and hard-faced, a career military officer with 20 years of command experience. Behind her came 20 armed soldiers in full combat gear. Weapons, armor, the whole apparatus of human force. Watch them approach from the canyon. The mother dragon had moved the hatchling deeper into the rocks, away from the open ground. She was smart enough to know that danger was coming, but she had not left. She had not abandoned. Torres saw the camp and the crashed ship. She saw the crew moving about. Then her eyes found standing alone on the rocks above them. "Captain," she called out, her voice carrying across the canyon. "We have been searching for 3 days. Are you all right? Are there injuries?" "The crew is stable," said as he descended the rocks toward her. "We have 3 dead from the crash. The rest are recovering." Torres looked at him carefully. "You are hurt. Dr. Cole, get medical teams here immediately." But before the medical personnel could move forward, Torres grabbed his arm. "What happened here?" she asked. Her voice was different now, harder, like she was interrogating a suspect instead of speaking to a fellow captain. "The crash," said simply. "The storm pushed us off course. We came down hard." "That is not what I am asking," Torres said. She was looking at the rocks at the deeper canyon where the dragon had gone. "There are marks in the stone, large marks, and the crew reports having found something they were helping when the rescue shuttle landed nearby." "Said nothing." Torres' hand tightened on his arm. "What was it?" "There is nothing here but rock and ash," said. "The crew was exploring, that is all." But Torres had already seen the truth in his face. She had been a military officer too long not to recognize deception. She gestured sharply to her soldiers. "Search the canyon, full sweep, standard protocol for unknown." "No," said. He pulled away from her grip. "That is not necessary, Captain. There is nothing to find." Torres' eyes narrowed. "That is an order from a superior officer. You will stand down." The soldiers moved into the canyon, watched them go, and felt something break inside him. They would find the mother dragon. They would find the hatchling, and then the Galactic Council would make decisions about what to do with them. Decisions made in boardrooms light years away by beings who had no understanding of what he had seen. Lisa approached him, her face pale. "Captain, what do we do?" Nothing, said, "We do nothing." But Tors had already stepped forward, blocking his path. "You have been here for 3 days. You have not reported anything. You did not activate the emergency beacon until we sent down probes. That tells me you are hiding something, and I want to know what it is." "I am hiding nothing from you," said, and that was true. He was not hiding anything. He simply would not tell. The hatchling came out of the rocks. It was small, still injured, still moving carefully on its back legs. But it came toward, drawn by his voice and his presence. Its mother followed, but she stayed back, watching. Tors drew her weapon instantly. Her soldiers saw the dragons, and the canyon erupted into chaos. Weapons were raised, orders were shouted. The hatchling cried out in fear. The mother dragon moved to shield the young one, and made his decision. He walked toward the hatchling, putting himself between the creature and Tor's soldiers. If they were going to shoot, they would have to shoot him first. "Stand down," Tors commanded. "That is an order. Step away from that creature." "No," said. He knelt beside the hatchling, his hand on its head. The young dragon pressed against him, seeking safety. Ensign Lewis stepped forward. He was young, barely 20 years old, and he was afraid. The fear made him dangerous. He raised his weapon toward the hatchling, trying to get a clear shot around its body. "This creature is a threat," Lewis said, his voice shaking. "We have to protect ourselves." "It is a baby," said. "A baby that was trapped and dying, and we helped it. There is no threat here." Lewis did not listen. Maybe he could not hear anything past his own fear. He aimed at the hatchling and fired. Saw the motion. He saw the weapon rise. He had 1 second to make a choice. He could move. He could dive away. He could let the blast hit the creature he had sworn to protect. He did none of those things. Stood up and turned his body in front of the hatchling. The energy blast hit him squarely in the chest. The pain was immense. His whole body erupted in fire. His skin burned. His lungs filled with something that was not air. He fell forward, crashing to the rocky ground. The hatchling screamed, a sound of terror and loss. The mother dragon roared. The sound was like nothing any human had ever heard. It was rage and grief mixed together. It was the sound of an ancient being pushed too far. It was a roar that shook the rocks and echoed across the canyon. But she did not attack. Tors and her soldiers raised their weapons, ready for the dragon to charge. They expected violence. They expected death. But the mother dragon simply moved to stand over his fallen body. She lowered her head and breathed warm air across his burned and broken body. And she stood vigil. "Fall back," Tors ordered. Her voice was uncertain now. "Everyone back to the ship. Standard holding pattern, no engagement." The soldiers retreated, keeping their weapons raised. But none of them could look at what they saw. A human had taken a blast meant for an alien creature. A human had thrown himself in front of the young dragon, and an ancient dragon was standing over him with something that looked very much like love. Dr. Cole rushed forward, but Tors held him back. "Wait," she said. "The dragon has not attacked. Do not provoke it." Cole watched his chest rise and fall. The burns were terrible. The man should have been dead, but he was still alive, barely. And the mother dragon stood guard, breathing slowly, waiting to see if the creature that had saved her baby would live or die. Dr. Cole set up his medical station next to his body. The burns covered most of the left side of his chest and his shoulder. The tissue was blackened and charred. A normal human would have died from the shock alone, but had trained his body through decades of military service. His heart still beat. His lungs still drew breath. He was hanging on by the thinnest thread. The mother dragon did not move. She lay beside, her wings spread over him like a blanket. Every few minutes she would breathe warm air across his wounds. Dr. Cole did not understand how it was helping, but the heat seemed to be preventing infection. The charred skin was not getting worse. It was, in some strange way, healing. "The pain medication is running low," Lisa said. She was helping Cole, changing bandages and monitoring vital signs with the portable equipment they had salvaged from the crashed ship. "I know," Cole replied. He was looking at space. The captain was unconscious, caught in fever dreams. His lips moved, but no words came. "We will run out of supplies in a week. After that, all we can do is keep him comfortable and hope his body is strong enough to fight the infection." Tor stood nearby, watching the scene unfold. She had not spoken in hours. Her soldiers kept their distance, maintaining a perimeter around the camp. No one was sure what would happen next. No one wanted to be the one who made a move that would provoke the dragons. The mother dragon made a low sound, not a roar this time, something quieter, something that sounded almost like calling. Within the hour, the first elder dragon appeared on the ridge above the canyon. It was massive, easily 30 meters long. Its scales were unweathered by centuries. Its eyes held the weight of ages. It landed with a grace that belied its size and settled at the edge of the camp, watching. Then another came, and another. By evening, there were 6 elder dragons circling the canyon. By midnight, there were 12. They did not approach. They did not threaten. They simply took positions around the camp and waited. Their presence was overwhelming. Their patience was absolute. Tors received a communication from the Galactic Council. The message came through the emergency relay. Secure the alien creatures for study. They are a biological resource. Capture them or terminate them, but they cannot be allowed to leave the planet. Tors read the message and then powered down the communication device. She did not respond. One of her junior officers, Lieutenant David Curry, approached her. "Captain, we have new orders. What do we do?" "We do nothing," Tors said quietly. "We watch, we wait, and we hope that creature stays alive." The fever came in waves, would wake sometimes, his eyes open but unseeing, calling out names of people from his past. Cole would give him water, cool his forehead with cloth. The mother dragon would breathe on him and would sink back into unconsciousness. On the second night, almost died. His fever spiked so high that Cole thought his brain would cook inside his skull. Cole used every technique he knew. Cold water, medication, prayers to gods he had not believed in for 30 years, and the mother dragon wrapped herself around him, her body a furnace that burned away the infection from within. By morning, the fever had broken again. "It is like she knows exactly what to do," Lisa said. She was exhausted, like everyone was exhausted. "She is not just providing warmth, she is healing him, actually healing him." Dr. Cole nodded slowly. "The dragons possess knowledge of medicine that we do not have, or perhaps they possess biology that we do not understand. Perhaps they can sense infection and poison it out with their own chemistry. I do not know, but she is keeping him alive through sheer will and presence." On the 4th day, an elder dragon that Tors had named approached the camp. It was the oldest of the dragons, with scales that shimmered deep emerald and gold in the sunlight. It made a sound that was low and resonant, a sound that seemed to vibrate through the very rocks. The other dragons answered with their own calls, and suddenly the canyon filled with sound. It was not hostile, it was not threatening, but it was immensely powerful. Tors realized that the dragons were communicating. They were sharing information. They were making a judgment about what had happened. The mother dragon moved away from his body for the first time in 4 days. She approached and made sounds to him. The hatchling, who had been resting nearby, came to and lay down beside him, as if the young creature understood that needed to be protected now. Listen to the mother dragon's sounds. His ancient eyes turned towards burned and broken body. Then he looked at Tors and her soldiers. And something shifted in the dragon's eyes. Not acceptance exactly, but something like understanding. Tors realized in that moment that the dragons had just decided something. They had looked at the evidence. They had heard the mother dragon's account, and they had made a judgment about what had done. He had saved the hatchling. He had given his life to protect an innocent creature. That was something the dragons recognized. That was something they valued. Over the next 3 days, more dragons arrived. They came from across the planet, answering the call of the elder dragons. They settled around the camp, not crowding, not threatening, but present in overwhelming numbers. "There are hundreds of them," one of Tor's soldiers said, fear evident in his voice. But Tors shook her head. "They are not here to attack, look, they are here to witness. They are standing judgment on what happened." And she was right. The dragons took positions around the camp and remained silent. They watched body. They watched the mother dragon. They watched the hatchling. They waited to see if the human who had saved one of their young would live. On the 5th night, Cole gave a dose of medication that was stronger than before. His supplies were running low. If it was going to survive, it would have to be soon. The infection was still there, still threatening. The burns were still terrible. But something had changed. His body was fighting. His will was strong. The heat from the dragons was helping, and somewhere deep inside understood that more than just his life was at stake. He understood that he had to live to prove to these creatures that humans were capable of more than destruction. He had to live to show them that kindness was not weakness. He had to live to prove that sacrifice meant something. So he fought the fever, he fought the pain, he fought the darkness that tried to pull him under. And the dragons watched. In their ancient silence, they waited to see if he would make it, opened his eyes on the seventh day. The light was soft and golden. Sun was setting, painting the sky in shades of orange and red. For a moment, he could not remember where he was. The pain in his chest seemed distant, as if it belonged to someone else. He tried to move and found that his body obeyed, though slowly. A shadow fell across his face. Dr. Cole was there, looking down at him with tears running down his cheeks. "Welcome back," Cole said. His voice was hoarse from not speaking in days. "You have been unconscious for 7 days, Captain. You have been—" "We did not know if you would wake up." "How bad?" asked. His voice was rough and weak. "Bad," Cole said. "Very bad. The blast burned away a lot of tissue. You have scars that will not fade, but the infection is gone. Your body fought it off. That dragon, she helped you more than any medicine could have." Tried to sit up and Cole helped him. His left side was wrapped in bandages. When he looked down, he could see the burned skin beneath them. It was ugly, it was painful, but it was healing. The crew asked. "Everyone is alive," Cole said. "We have kept the camp stable. Captain Torres and her soldiers have not tried to interfere." "The dragons?" asked. He looked around and saw that the mother dragon was sleeping near his medical station. The hatchling was curled up beside her, the young creature's wing now fully healed. Cole did not answer. Instead, he helped to his feet. "Come outside," Cole said. "You need to see this." Leaned on Cole's arm and walked slowly out of the tent. His legs were weak from disuse, but he managed to move forward. The sight took his breath away. The entire canyon was filled with dragons. They filled every open space. They lined the rocks. They stood on the ridges, hundreds of them. Some were small, like the hatchling. Others were enormous, ancient creatures that made the elders had seen before look young. Their scales reflected the dying sunlight in 1,000 different colors. Their eyes were all turned toward him. And they were completely silent. No movement, no sound, no breath that did not need to be taken. It was as if the entire species was holding its breath, waiting for something, waiting for him. The mother dragon woke and rose to her feet. She walked to and lowered her great head until her eyes were level with his face, looked into those ancient eyes and saw something that made his heart break. Gratitude, respect, love. The hatchling rushed forward and nuzzled against legs, making small sounds of joy, reached down and touched the young dragon's head. The wing was completely healed now. The creature was strong and healthy. "They have been here the whole time," Cole said softly. "Every dragon on this planet, it seems, waiting, watching. The mother dragon never left your side except to brief the elders, and they passed judgment. They decided what your sacrifice meant." A dragon approached from the gathered crowd. It was old, older than the sun that hung above them. Its scales were deep emerald and gold, marked with scars that told the story of centuries. This was the elder. The dragon walked slowly, with the measured steps of something that had walked the earth for. It stopped in front of. For a moment, nothing happened, and the dragons simply looked at each other. Then lowered his head. It was not a gesture of aggression. It was a gesture of honor. The ancient dragon was bowing to him, to a fragile human who had lived for barely 40 years. Reached out and touched scaled head. His hand seemed impossibly small against the creature's massive forehead. Opened his mouth and made a sound that was low and rumbling. It sounded like approval, like recognition. And then every dragon in the canyon answered. The sound was not a roar, it was not a threat. It was a sound like resonance, like harmony, like a choir of ancient voices agreeing on something important. The sound built and built, echoing off the canyon walls, shaking the rocks. Stood there, his hand on the ancient dragon's head, his body burned and alive, and he understood. The dragons were saying something. They were telling the universe something. They were announcing a decision. They were saying that humans were worthy. They were saying that had proven something that had never been proven before. That beings who were smaller and weaker and shorter-lived than the dragons could possess something that mattered. Something that could not be measured in teeth or claws or the ability to fly through the stars. had proven that humans possessed honor, that they possessed the will to die for something innocent. Lisa appeared beside him, her arm supporting his other side. Tears were streaming down her face. "They have been waiting for you to wake up," she said. "They wanted to do this when you could see it. They wanted you to know." The sound continued for a long time. It echoed through the canyon and across the planet. Somewhere in the Galactic Communication Network, Captain Torres sent a message to the Galactic Council. But Torres did not report the dragons as a threat to be studied or contained. Instead, she reported them as an ancient species worthy of protection, a species that would be peaceful as long as peace was offered to them. She did not mention that her recommendation came based on the judgment of dragons that had witnessed a human sacrifice, everything for an innocent life. As the sun finally sank below the mountains and darkness claimed the canyon, the dragons remained in their places. The mother dragon settled beside again, her wings spread over him. The hatchling curled up in the crook of her tail, and remained standing nearby, his ancient eyes never leaving his face. Dr. Cole brought water and medication. "You need to rest," Cole said. "Your body has been through more than any human body should have to endure." "I will rest," said, "but first I need to understand what just happened." Cole sat down beside him. "They made you a witness," Cole said. "The dragons have decided that you are someone worth protecting, that humans are capable of being worthy. That is what they were announcing. That is what all those dragons gathered to say." Looked out at the assembled creatures and felt something shift in his chest. Not just the physical pain of healing wounds, but something deeper, a weight of responsibility, a knowledge that what he had done in this canyon would echo across worlds. The Galactic Council would learn that there was intelligent life on, but they would learn it from a source they could not ignore. They would learn it from the report of a captain who had witnessed ancient dragons honoring a human sacrifice. And the age of humans as isolated, feared beings in the galaxy would be over. They would be seen as something else now, something more. Closed his eyes and felt the warmth of the mother dragon beside him. He heard the soft sounds of the hatchling sleeping, and in the silence of hundreds of watching dragons, he understood the truth. He had come to as a castaway. He would leave as something else entirely. A bridge between worlds. A proof that kindness and sacrifice transcended the boundaries of species. A human who had been worthy of dragon reverence. In the darkness, as sleep finally claimed him, knew that he had found something more important than survival. He had found meaning,